Do. It's the Jelly and Gin show.
Welcome to our first episode of Caught in Conversations.
So today on our first episode, we're gonna talk about how our day's been, and then we're gonna go into like how we started COD, and then we're gonna go into how we met, and then you'll see. Okay. So, how has your day been?
You know, well, I woke up and then my boss was like, hey, I woke up at 1:09, by the way, 1:09. My boss, I look at a message, she's like, can you come in for 12? It's only two of us today. And I was like, I can come in for 2. And she's like, no, it's fine. You can come in for your regular time. I'm like, oh, fantastic. And then I get there. And there's this lady that has been to my store like multiple times. And it's the lady that climbed on the counter.
Oh my gosh.
She came back today. And
I
every
cannot.
time I see her, I'm like, please don't do it again. Please don't do it again. Please don't do it.
I feel like she should have been banned.
That's not in our values.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And I like, there's like a stand just by where you go like behind the cash desk. There's like a little stand. There's a doorway there. And instead of grabbing this bag from the top of this little display that is like the same height as me, not that tall. I mean, pretty tall, but like, she goes and instead of grabbing the bag and pulling it down to take out the other bags, she is trying to grab one of the bags out of the bag full of bags and just struggling.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, oh, are you finding everything all right? And she's like, yeah, I'm just grabbing a bag. I'm like, okay, well, you can just pull the bags down. She's like, no, I don't want to. I'm like,
why make it more difficult? Like, why do people?
Right? I'm like, what are you doing? And then she has a bunch of stuff like at the cash desk. There's only one cashier. Has a bunch of stuff at the cash desk, right? And she keeps going to the cash, back to a tower, to the cash desk, back to a tower. And then she's standing there, not in line where all these other people are, but just standing there and is like, oh, I guess I'll just wait for all these people to go through. And the coworker's like, yeah, you will, because you're not in the lineup.
Like, that's...
And one of the
she should be banned. She should be banned. I'm sorry. This lady.
Yeah. I know. There's so many people that should be banned at my work, honestly. All the sketchy people that come in that are like higher than a kite and they're just like staring at me like, I'm going to steal this, but don't look at me like that. Don't even watch me. I put out a tester of hand soap and someone already stole it in like 3 hours.
I
don't understand.
I don't see how you have the audacity to just go in and steal. Like, how do you do that? Like, never in my life have I been like, yes, I'm gonna go into the store and steal a tester of hand soap.
Right? I don't understand. I don't get it.
Like, retail.
Yeah,
couldn't
I
do
hated
it. No, yeah.
Literally.
My few months in retail, I couldn't stand it. I mean, I didn't have to deal with people stealing, nor did I care. This is not my problem. You don't pay me that much money to like be a bodyguard to chase these people out of the store.
We're not even allowed to do anything. Like, people steal from us. We just put a little report in the computer, but like if someone steals from us, we're not even allowed to call security to be like, hey, they stole this cologne from us. No. We have to just be like, yeah, they stole this cologne and at this time. Like,
I did forget though. That lady did steal stuff that time when she had put all that stuff up on the counter and then she used a check and I'm pretty sure it was a fake check. Remember that?
Yeah.
I forgot that happened. This lady's been like over $1,000 and then like handed me a check.
And then just
dipped and then she came back. Like, she came back and tried to do it again with me. I'm like, I'm not that dumb. You got me the first time, but the second time, this is not happening.
Man, if only
That's
somebody
wild that
knew.
people think that they can do it multiple times.
Yes, and she came back. It was, I'm pretty sure, either the next day or 2 days later, because I remember seeing her and she came in my line and then she had all this stuff again. But this time, like, when she gave me the check, I went and was like, oh, hold up. I need to go talk to my manager or whatever. And then I went and was like, hey, I'm pretty sure this lady was the one that just like stole $1,000 worth of stuff the other day. And then they like went into like, how do you know? I'm like, she gave me a check. That definitely was not her check. Okay, I think I know. And then by the time that I got back over there, her boyfriend had already left out of the store. And then she was like, "Oh, you know what? I forgot something. I'm gonna have to like run out, and I'll be right back." I was like,
Okay.
okay. She never came back. And then the person watching the door came over and was like, that lady, I'm pretty sure she stole something because she went to the bathroom and came out like bigger and she was a small lady.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so yeah, that was the only
That's
time someone actually stole something like that. And I was like, oh wow. Okay.
the audacity.
The audacity. I would be so. Oh, and she had her kids too. She had her two kids with her,
Oh,
and they were like around 4 and 3. Like they were little bitty babies because they were in the cart.
oh my goodness.
Like, how are you? And it's different if you know you're struggling to buy stuff like food wise. You know, I can turn a side eye to that. I mean, I'm not gonna help you still, but
That's
the
how it.
fact that she came up there with like all these clothes and like jewelry and stuff like that is what she had. She didn't have like stuff you would need. So I don't feel sorry for you. Like you're just out here stealing the still. Like no man.
No, thank you.
No thank you.
Jesus.
Mhm.
There's this
Yeah.
one woman that has come. Well, okay. So at Christmas time, she called the store and told me that her aunt was gonna come into the store and shop for her. And there's this coupon. What was it for? For candles or something. Oh, there's a 20% off coupon, but it was through your email. So you have to like tell the cashiers that you want to use this coupon, right?
Mhm.
And she's on the phone with me and she's telling me that she's like, yeah, my aunt's gonna come in. She might need some help. So if someone looks confused, you have to help her. And you better give her that coupon. And I was like, okay, well, she has to tell the cashiers at the cash desk.
Oh my gosh.
And she was like, yeah, yeah. And then so I was out doing garbage, and I guess the aunt came in, and she didn't get the coupon. She didn't get the extra 20% off. The candles are already on sale. They're like $15.95. She so then the aunt goes and puts her candles in the car, comes back in just with nothing. She doesn't have anything. And she goes, I don't think I got the 20% off on my candles. And the cashier's like, well, yeah, you would have needed to tell us. I can do that for you if you'd like, but you need to bring like your receipt and candles back in. No, I don't want to do that. That's too much work.
Oh my gosh.
Could be up in Nest.
Leaves or whatever.
But
About
she
an
came
hour later,
but she came all the way back in to tell you that, but that wasn't
yeah,
too much work.
yeah, leaves, or like, and like an hour later, my coworker answers the phone. No, but you're fine. Answers the phone, goes, I want to talk to the person, the host I was talking to when I called. When I called the
The
first time, my
host.
coworker's like, I can see if someone's here, but I'm not quite sure. I just got here. Her name is insert name. I don't remember. Kaylin. Her name's Kaylin.
Okay.
So my coworker like is like, okay, I'm just gonna put you on hold. Puts them on hold. Comes up to me and was like, do you know someone named Caitlin? Like they're calling something about a coupon with an aunt, and I'm like, she's like, my coworker's like, she said that she talked to you before. I was like, I don't know what Caitlin, but I know this situation because she never told me her name. I answer the phone. She starts yelling at me. She's like, you didn't apply the coupon to my aunt's stuff. And I was like, well, your aunt did need to tell the cashier, well, she's old, she has disabilities. Why didn't you do this? Blah, blah, blah. When I come back on, oh, this must have been in November. She's like, when I come back in December, I want a refund, yelling at me on the phone. And I was like, since it's an email thing, we can't like just give you 20% off. She's like, well, I'm coming in on this day and you guys better honor it and give it to me. I wasn't here when she came in. She came in. They returned it and gave her 20% off.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, that woman's going to come back and she's going to be a horrible person. And she's going to come back and she's going to demand similar things. She came back in like January.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I have all this stuff and I want a refund for it, blah, blah, blah. For like an hour.
Mm.
I again wasn't here for it. I wish I was. I don't even know what this woman looks like. For an hour, like yelling at my coworker.
That's why
and
we can't.
My boss was just like, okay, here's 3 things. Here you go. Please leave. And I was like, I told you she was gonna do this.
And she's gonna come back again because they keep giving her what she wants.
Yes.
You can't do that.
I hope she's here one day when I'm here and I just tell her to heck off.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait. I hope one day you get to meet her and you get to tell her that.
Me too.
I just
how was
customers,
right? Freaking hate them.
Yeah.
How was your day?
Let's see. My day was pretty good. I got up at 1 a.m. last night and didn't go back to bed until 11 a.m. So that was nice.
Ooh.
My little interview for my maybe future job, who knows, went, I think, pretty well.
That's
I
good.
never had someone compliment my resume before.
Ooh.
He really liked it, just the way it looked. She was like, this is so aesthetically pleasing. I love this. I was like, thank you. Let's see. Besides that, it was okay. I don't have a job, so I don't really do much. But after I woke up from my beauty sleep, I got on the apps, the Bumble Boys.
Oh no.
Yeah, I did it. I downloaded Bumble again last week. And it's been very interesting as always.
Of course. I love the little like the little things that lets you check off for like things you're interested in and stuff. That's on Bumble, right?
Is that on Bumble? I don't think so. Oh, yep. Yeah, I think that's all of them. Yeah, like your hobbies and stuff, like stuff you like. Yeah, that's on all of them.
Oh.
But yeah. So today the Bumble Boys have been a little interesting. We've been maybe talked to a few guys in there. It's not like I'm just gonna like put all my eggs into one basket. So I'm talking to at least like 6 guys on there. And I tell them all the same exact stories, or not the same story, but like how are you? How's your Monday going? I like copy and paste that to every message, and it's low key getting boring. So I'm probably gonna delete it because it's not going. But today, 2 of the guys that I've been talking to, they very, very interesting. Okay, so one of them, we're gonna call him Mike. So Mike, I met him on Bumble, and then he decided that, as they all do eventually, they're like, I don't really check this app, so like, do you have like a number, or like, do you have Snapchat? And I'm like, and of course this goes here, and then we're gonna move over to Snapchat, and you're gonna ghost me because y'all are weird like that. So I'm like, yeah, here's my Snapchat. So I give him my Snapchat, but he didn't ghost me. We've been talking like for a week now. Like, he's okay. There's no connection there though. He's also like 5'6". He's 5'6".
Short king.
A short king. We love a short king, but like, we've been there. That was not a good date. He looked like my brother. So and not like physically. Like he was just short. It looked like I had brought my brother out to like a little lunch date, like because he was so small. Anyways, do digress. So Mike is over here on Snapchat. You know, we've been talking it up, chatting it up. It's been going okay. Just normal conversations. And like, I think the third day into talking to me on Snapchat, he was like, "Do you want to hang out like sometime? Like hang out in game?" And I'm like, "Do you mean in person or like what are you talking about?"
Sorry.
Because he didn't like say. And then he was like, "Oh, whatever you're comfortable with." And I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, I think.
So I was like, "Well, I don't know you, so I'm not hanging out with you."
You're like, we can hang out in game, but my best friend's also gonna be there.
Right, I'm like, we can hang out in game, but we're gonna have to make it like a triple date, you know. It's gonna be me, you, and my friend. But I was like, well, we can like play on the game. I was like, what kind of games do you play? And this man proceeds to tell me, well, I play all kinds of games. I play anything. And then he
Red
takes a
flag.
picture. Yeah, let me tell you. Then he takes a picture of like, I guess it was his PlayStation or something where it shows you all the games that you have. This man has over 1,000 games downloaded. Okay,
Red flag. Number 2.
literally. And then I'm like, okay, cool, but like, what games do you have? Because he has 1,000. I'm like, you know what? These are the games I have. So I'm like, I play COD and I play Fortnite, but not Fortnite Rocket Racing. That's all we got, buddy. That's all we can do, you know? He proceeds to tell me, oh, I don't really play COD.
But you have 1,000 games?
But you have 1,000 games. He's like, I don't play COD. And I'm like, okay, cool, you know? After he just said he wanted
Red
to
flag
hang
number
out.
3.
Right. After he just said, I want to hang out in game. And I'm like, okay. So then we kind of just go over to something else and we just like bypass this whole gaming like conversation. Like we were talking about something totally different. And then, and that was probably like 5 days ago, maybe. I don't know.
Oh.
So today, I was still talking to him. It was just like the boring conversation of like, how are you? Blah, blah, blah. But today, he's like, so what are you looking for? Relationship, a friendship, something casual? And I was like, I'm on
What a great
Bumble.
question.
I'm not on friendship Bumble. I'm on the dating Bumble. So obviously, I'm looking for a relationship because my thing says no hookup. So obviously, I don't want anything casual, sir.
Goodness.
And like, I'm looking for a relationship, I suppose. And he's like, okay, yeah, me too. It's just hard to find someone to keep me excited.
Why do they gotta word it like that?
I'm not here for your entertainment. I literally was like, keep you excited, question mark.
I love it.
And he's like, oh, well, you know, it's hard to connect with people and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, it is hard to connect to people when they want to give you one worded answers and ghost you after you move to Snapchat. He's like, yeah, that is shitty. And then he was like, he started talking about, like, oh, we should hang out. He's like, we should hang out. Like, do you want to go get dinner and watch a movie this weekend? I just told you, I don't know you 5 days ago. Why would I be ready to hang out with you now when you have made no steps to try to call me on the phone or any like nothing, like no steps into that. Like I'm not going out with someone that I don't know if you're a real person.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, maybe I was like maybe next weekend. Maybe we should talk on the phone for a little bit and then, you know, we can hang out. And he was like, okay, anything that's makes you comfortable and makes you feel safe is what he said. And I was like, cool, great. We love a man that says
We
stuff like
love
that.
that.
And then though he goes into, I do have to tell you something.
Oh no.
I was like,
Oh.
okay. He's like, I'm into BDSM. Is that a deal breaker?
You're like, okay, guys, where's the cameras?
Like, why are you telling me this? Okay, like, we're not dating yet. I'm not even thinking about any kind of sexual things with you. Why are you telling me about you're into BDSM? Okay.
You're like, this is the first date, not the.
Right, we first of all, we haven't even been on a date yet. I haven't talked to you on the phone yet. So why did you think you needed to bring this up right now
Right
in
now.
that moment? After I had just told him that also guys all either they ghost you or they only want one thing. I had just told him that. And then his message after that was that message. And I'm like, are you not reading the messages I'm sending to you?
Do you think that was a joke? Because I was serious.
Right? And then I just told him, I was like, that's not a deal breaker, but like, I hope you know, like, I'm not looking into like having any kind of sexual things with you until like I need to be dating you, sir. Like, that's not on my mind, like, at all right now. And I'm also like, I just don't have any connection with you. You're not like, you're boring, low key. Like, you're just boring. So that happened today. So yeah, he thinks we're probably gonna go on a date next weekend, but it's probably not gonna happen. I'm probably gonna block him sometime this week. So that was the first one. Okay, that was first Bumble Boy, Mike. Okay.
Yeah.
So the second Bumble Boy, we're gonna call him Jesse. Okay.
Okay.
Jesse's 10 times worse than this one.
Oh no. In like
Okay.
which way? Which?
Let me just tell you, because this is the one that I wanted to tell you about earlier, because he was sending me messages and I was like, oh my God, I haven't replied to him because he irked my nerves so bad today.
Yeah, she was gaslighting this story from me for the
You
podcast.
had to save it for the podcast. You can have your reaction. Like, this will be your authentic reaction to this story.
Amazing.
Okay, so Mr. Jesse, again, I've been talking to him the same amount of times. This man tells me about his stupid geckos. Sorry if you like geckos. I think they're creepy. I told him that. He was like, they're not snakes. I was like,
I mean, you're
they're
right.
still creepy. I do not care. Anyway, so that's how our conversation started off on freaking Bumble. We have not moved to Snapchat or anything. We have stayed on Bumble talking for the past week. He's okay. He was in the military. He's not in the military anymore. He's only 25 though.
Red flag.
Yeah, it's very strange. Today, except again, the conversations have been it's been normal, kind of. But then today, he starts telling me about like how he had an appointment and that his appointment was with the therapist. And I was like, oh, that's cool. Go get your mental health checked out. Everyone should. And then we started talking about like
What, Michael Myers?
he wants to meet up basically. He's like, oh, like what's there to do like where I live? And I was like, oh, there's nothing because it's a small town. And I was like, what's there to do where you live? I already know there's nothing to do where he lives either because the whole state is small. There's nothing to do here.
Think of that one movie theater. That's kind of cool.
Joey, what?
And
I'm
your favorite restaurant.
I'm so tired of eating at restaurants with these men and going to these movie theaters with these men. Like, I'm sick of it. If we're not going to space at this point, I don't want it. Okay.
What's your name?
But he had that whole spiel about like, oh, what's there to do, blah blah blah, and then he was like, oh, well, maybe we can get dinner sometime because that's all he said. There's nothing to do in this state. He was like, I guess just food places, and I was like, well, I can look up some stuff to see. I don't know why I have to Google what the hell to do. Like, I don't know what is wrong with these men in this generation and not knowing how to Google in your area of what to do, but they don't know how to do it. They want you to do it. I'm like, whatever. So, after I told him that, he was like, well, actually, I don't have any money right now.
Oh my God. Red flag.
I was like, So why are you even trying to hang out, right? I didn't tell him that, but I was thinking in my head, like, why are you trying to hang out?
Fucking Brock makes
And then
out.
I was like, oh, that's okay, whatever. I'd rather talk to you on the phone for a little bit anyways until like we get to that point. Because again, I want to make sure you are who you are. That's everybody should do that. That's just if you're on dating websites,
Safety
you
first.
should do that. Safety, safety, safety. Well, Mr. Jesse's like, well, we could go out and I'll pay you back Tuesday.
Oh my god.
And then I proceed to tell him, like, I also don't have any money right now because he already knows I'm looking for a job. I've told all of the Bumble boys, about my job search and my 2 interviews I've had this past week. So he already knows this. So why are you? I'm like, I don't have any money either. And then um, he's like, okay, that's fine. Wait, he said something weird. I think he was saying, why do we have to call, basically? And then that's
You're
when
like,
I was
why
like,
don't you want to call? That's the weird part.
literally, I've never had a man be like, why would we do that? I'm like, so I can make sure you are who you say you are. And he's like, well, I'm verified on Bumble.
Oh my god.
Like that was supposed to help my worry. And I'm like, well, I was like, well, I want to FaceTime basically. And he's like, again, this one he was talking about, like, he's verified on Bumble. I'm like, well, I don't know. Like, people can fake that. I'm pretty sure there's a way to fake that.
There's anything. There's a way to
Right.
anything now.
Right. So, earlier he was talking about, like, his job and that he needed to go pick up a paycheck that he should have picked up last Friday, and he forgot about picking it up today as well.
How do you forget about picking up your money?
Literally, how? And then he proceeds to tell me this weird story about how it's a contracting job, but he only did it for 2 days. But he thinks the man is using him. And then I was like, oh, that's weird. Maybe he's not. Then he proceeds to tell me, I don't want to talk about this though. I didn't say you had to talk about that. You brought it up, not me. And I was like, okay. And he was like, yeah, it just causes me a lot of something. I forgot what he said, but something weird, like something mentally wrong. Basically, is what he was saying.
How'd you know I was there, man?
And I was like, okay, we don't have to talk about that. I didn't want to talk about your contracting job, anyways. So that was this same conversation. This all happened today. That was just earlier. I thought I would just let you know. That was a key part to it. Okay. So
Yeah.
then he asked me after the whole, like, okay, well, I don't have money, you don't have money, blah blah blah, all of that. He's like, well, we can meet up in like this one area at the Walmart in a public space, but he said it has lots of lights, and we can just hang out in the car and listen to music.
You're like, why can't we do that on the phone, Jesse?
Literally, Jesse, why can't we not do that on the phone?
Why do we have to waste gas?
Why? It was
That costs money.
It would waste gas because the place he would want to meet up is not even close to either one of us. It's not in the middle either. Like, I looked it up. I'm like, we could probably meet in this. I didn't tell him this because, like, I don't want to meet up with him in the Walmart parking lot. Like, I was like, if I did, I always do the bad thing. I tell these guys, yeah, I'm never going to do any of the things that I say I'm going to do. Like, yeah, that sounds great. Maybe I was like, yeah, that sounds great, but maybe after we like FaceTime, so I know who you are.
Yeah.
Which he then replies to, have you ever been in a relationship before? Have you ever gone on dates on this app before? Came out of nowhere.
That makes him sound so hecking creepy, to be honest.
Yes, like
So creepy. Like, have you even gone out on a date with anyone on here?
literally, I'm
Like, Is anyone gonna know if you're missing? That's what it sounds like, to be honest.
Right?
Get in my car
Get in
and
my
listen to
car.
music.
Look,
And even though we're in this Walmart parking lot,
with lots of lights.
lots. That's
And
very specific.
he's wanting to meet up at nighttime too. Like he didn't suggest like we meet up in the daytime. Like it's not like he's working or anything. So we could have met up in the daytime, but he didn't suggest that. He is suggesting meeting up at night at the Walmart parking lot with a lot of lights. And it's a public space. Walmart parking lot is a public space. I don't know if you knew that, but I didn't know that.
He can't look on Google how to like things to do in the area. No, he's looking up on Google how to not sound creepy on a Bumble date. Yeah, let's go. Let's go to Walmart parking lot. It says make sure to meet somewhere like neutral, very public, very like not dark and gloomy. It has lots of lights. He's like, check. He's like, let me think about a date.
Right.
Walmart parking lot in the car. Lots of lights. Public place.
He is the weirdest person I have ever talked to about that. Okay.
Right.
Like, I was like, again, of course I agreed because as I just said, I'm going to agree to stuff, but I'm not going to do it. But, the whole FaceTime and stuff. And then he was like, oh, have you been on dates? Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, I've been on dates from this app. I've been on a lot of dates, actually, from Bumble. I don't know about you, but I have. And then I was like, have you? And he tells me no. And then he proceeds to tell me that he has been married and divorced.
I mean, he was in the military, so.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't bring that up with him. But I figured I did tell him, like, you're pretty young. Like, he's 25.
You know why he hasn't been going on any dates? Because he keeps asking them to go to a Walmart parking lot.
Literally. He keeps being like, yeah, don't you want to meet up in, like, the Walmart parking lot with the lots of lights? Like, it's public. Like, it's totally safe. I'm not gonna call you or FaceTime you though before the date because like I'm verified on Bumble.
I'm verified on Bumble.
So I don't know why you are asking all these questions.
What the heck?
It just gets worse, okay?
Oh no.
He then proceeds to tell me after I'm typing, I'm saying like because he's like, I'm divorced and I'm typing, well, I hope you are. Like you're on this app talking to me. I hope you're divorced. And then I'm also typing, you're pretty young to already been married. And then as I send that, his next message comes in and he's like, you know, I don't think this is the right match, but if you still want to be friends and meet up and see if there's a vibe, we can still do that.
You're like, call me right now. What the fuck?
So you tell me, like you're telling me, I don't think this is a match, but like we can still be friends if you want to and meet up and see if it's a vibe. I read that and I'm like, is he okay? And then I ask him, I'm like, are you looking for something casual? Because does that not sound like he's looking for something casual?
Yeah.
And he tells me, no, I'm not looking for anything casual. I was like, oh. I was like, I was just wondering because this conversation is sounding like you're trying to get me to a Walmart parking lot and do unholy things, and that is not me. I'm not doing unholy things in the Wally World parking lot, okay? I cannot, okay? Then so I just say, oh, I'm wondering. He proceeds to send me 3 messages after that, okay? I can't even we're texting and I can't even get a word in with this man, okay?
Imagine how fun it would be.
Right? So he tells me, oh, well, I just don't want that pressure of like marriage to be on a relationship because like I'm not going to get married until I'm not thinking about marriage until 1 or 5 years, like in the future. Like I'm not thinking about like he's heavily telling me he's not thinking about marriage. But where did I say I wanted to marry you?
You're like, I just want you to FaceTime me before a date. Like, I'm slower on this marriage train than you are.
I'm sorry. I didn't know saying, hey, can we FaceTime can we
The
get married?
commitment.
I'm like, trust me, Jesse. I don't want to get married to you, okay? I never said that. I calm down. So I told him, I was like, well, just so you know, I don't want to get married anytime soon because like I have a few more years of school to go through before I want to settle down, okay? And again, I have no connection with this man. I am not thinking about, oh my gosh, you know how sometimes, well, you don't know. But anyway, sometimes you get a crush on someone and you like have this obsession. You're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna get married. I don't have that obsession with him. So no, I'm not thinking about getting married to Jesse. Like I'm no. And so I tell him all of that and he's like, oh well, it kind of sounds like we're on the same page then. I was like, you're the one that took us off the page. You're the one thinking about marriage, Jesse. Not me. You took us off the page. Okay, I got us back on the page, but not really because I'm not into you. But so then he's like, oh great, so what's up? Like, when do you want to hang out? I'm like, after maybe next weekend. I told him the same spill I told the other guy. Next weekend, after we FaceTime, like I brought that up, and then he was like, I don't understand why we have to FaceTime. And then he sends me a picture of himself, and he tells me this is what I look like right now. I want to know exactly what he said. I don't know. I didn't respond to him at this point because I'm like, are you okay? Just because you send me a photo of yourself doesn't mean that's you. Like I don't think he's catfishing or anything like that. Like I still just want to FaceTime you because then I can see if we would have a connection or not by FaceTiming instead of just texting. Because why would I waste my time and go get in your car or whatever, and then we're just chilling there and it's just awkward silence because you don't know how to keep a conversation. But yeah, so he sent me a picture. Then he said, "That's me right this second." And then he said, "I don't know, seems odd."
What seems odd is that you don't want to FaceTime me back, to be honest.
Yeah, you don't want to FaceTime me, but you want to meet up in the parking lot at Walmart where it's super lit or whatever. And then after he says, "I don't know, seems odd," he says, "Anyways." Anyways, what, Jesse? And I need to show you because Jesse here looks like a friend of ours.
Oh no.
Sorry, podcast listeners. Whoever's listening to this, you're not going to be able to see it, but just know you're about to hear her reaction, and she is going to be like, "Oh my god!" Unless you don't think he looks like the person, but I think he does.
Oh my god.
Who does he look like? And I'll edit out the name.
He looks like.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Yep.
Oh no.
That's what I was thinking. I didn't see it until I went back through his pictures, and I'm like, this?
I get way too excited about playing tabletop war games. That should have been your first red flag.
Oh my gosh, should I read his profile first name? Okay, listen, I don't. You gotta there's not that many fish in the sea. As people say, there's so many fish. There's not. So sometimes you just gotta swipe on people. And he lets you know in his bio that I am no longer in the military. I just like the pictures I had of me. Oh, okay, sir. I think he has two face pictures on here. And then the other one is just him and all the military men and women and whoever that is. Like you can't see him. And then he has another picture of him and his friend, and you would have to zoom in on his face to see what he looks like. He also looks shorter. He's supposed to be 5'9". I bet you if I met this man, I bet he's 5'7". Because the picture, let me show you.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Ain't no way.
No.
Like his stature even looks like that person. Like I feel like I've seen these pictures before because I remember looking at that person's Instagram a long time ago and seeing similar pictures like this.
I literally went to look it up, and there's very similar pictures.
I told you. Oh, I cannot. No, I'm so good because I feel like this man probably has the ego of that person as well, and I'm so good with that. And no wonder he's been married. Even that guy's married, and my bet is he'll probably be divorced soon as well.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother story to get into. I can't wait to talk about that story on here. Him and his wife and his bestie. Just so you know,
Please look at what I sent you.
you can't leave your wife alone with your friends.
Oh my god.
I told you literally the same.
Exact same. Exact same.
That's the same man, I'm telling you. I don't know how he got here to this state, but that's him. I cannot.
He's running away from the bride, you know?
Yeah, he's like, I'm tired of my wife. I'm running away. So yeah. So that's all today with the Bumble Boy. You know, I'll keep you updated about the rest of them because that's
He's
just
better.
two. That's just 2 out of the 6. The other ones aren't going great either.
And I want an update on Mike and Jesse, you know?
Okay, bet. We'll see. I don't know if I want to message Jesse back because, like, I already get the vibe that, like, he has irked me with his little picture that he sent and then his BS of a message. I'm like, okay, right, sure. But Mike, for sure. I'm probably gonna block him too, though, during the week because I'm definitely not going on a date with that man.
Jesus.
Is it wrong of me? Yes. I just
It's
can't.
fine. It's fine.
I can't do it. But yes, so that's gonna be all from. That's gonna be it. I didn't intend for the podcast to just be about our day and my Bumble people. But I guess that's what it turned into. But next time, you know, if you like this one, next time you can listen to our story about how we met and how she